What if everything you think you know about your significance in the universe is completely backwards? What if the very moment you feel most insignificant is actually when you're touching something so profound, so magnificent, that it would change every decision you make for the rest of your life? Tonight, as artificial lights flood our cities and we lose sight of the cosmic tapestry above us, there's a truth waiting in the darkness that Carl Sagan spent his entire life trying to share with humanity. A truth so revolutionary that it threatens every assumption we've made about who we are and why we matter. Imagine standing on the edge of the Grand Canyon at sunrise, feeling dwarfed by geological time and natural grandeur, only to discover that this overwhelming experience is nothing compared to the cosmic perspective that awaits you. Picture the moment when astronauts first saw Earth from space and were forever changed, not just by what they saw, but by what they finally understood about the nature of home, of belonging, of the delicate miracle we call existence. This is where our journey begins. Not with cold scientific facts, but with the warm revelation that science is humanity's greatest love letter to the universe that created us. Carl Edward Sagan understood something that most people spend their entire lives never quite grasping. We are not observers of the cosmos. We are participants in the most extraordinary experiment the universe has ever conducted. Every breath you take connects you to photosynthetic processes that began billions of years ago. Every heartbeat pumps through your veins elements that were forged in the nuclear furnaces of dying stars. Every thought that crosses your mind is the universe literally thinking about itself through the miracle of consciousness that somehow emerged from cosmic dust and time. But here's where it gets shocking, and I mean genuinely earth-shattering in its implications. The atoms in your left hand come from different stellar explosions than the atoms in your right hand. The calcium strengthening your bones was created in supernovae that occurred before our solar system existed. The oxygen you're breathing right now has been cycling through the lungs of countless creatures for millions of years, connecting you in an unbroken chain to every living thing that has ever drawn breath on this planet. You are not just made of star stuff. You are actively participating in the ongoing story of cosmic evolution, and your consciousness is the universe's way of experiencing its own magnificent complexity. This perspective doesn't diminish human importance. It reveals that human importance operates on a scale so vast and profound that we've barely begun to comprehend it. When Sagan looked through telescopes and saw distant galaxies, when he calculated the age of starlight reaching Earth, when he contemplated the vast spaces between worlds, he wasn't discovering emptiness, he was discovering connection. He wasn't finding evidence of human insignificance. He was finding proof of human participation in the grandest story ever told. Consider this mind-bending reality. The light entering your eyes as you read these words has traveled across space for 8 minutes from our nearest star, the Sun. But the light from distant stars has been traveling for decades, centuries, even millennia to reach you. You are literally seeing into the past with every glance upward, time traveling with nothing more than your natural vision. Your eyes are cosmic archaeology tools, and every night is an opportunity to explore the history of the universe simply by looking up and truly seeing what's there. But we've lost this connection, haven't we? We've built a civilization that shields us from cosmic awareness, that makes us forget our place in the larger story. We worry about daily concerns, and rightfully so, but we've forgotten that these daily concerns are taking place on a world that is itself hurtling through space at incredible speeds, orbiting a star that is journeying through a galaxy that is itself moving through an expanding universe. Every mundane moment of your life is actually an extraordinary cosmic event when seen from the proper perspective. This is what Sagan called cosmic perspective. And it's not just philosophical poetry, it's practical wisdom for living a meaningful life in the 21st century. When you truly understand your cosmic address, not just your street and city, but your planet, your solar system, your galactic neighborhood, something fundamental shifts in how you see conflicts, how you prioritize your time, how you treat the only known refuge for life in the universe. The problems that seemed overwhelming yesterday take on new proportions when viewed from the perspective of deep time and vast space, while the things that truly matter, love, knowledge, the preservation of life itself, become luminously clear. Here's where the story takes an unexpected turn, one that reveals just how recent and fragile our cosmic awakening really is. Until 1995, just 30 years ago, We didn't know if planets existed around other stars. Think about that for a moment. Your parents or grandparents lived through humanity's transition from wondering if we were alone in the universe to discovering thousands of worlds orbiting distant suns. In the span of a single human generation, we went from cosmic ignorance to cosmic revelation, and we're still processing what this means for our understanding of life, intelligence, and our responsibility as cosmic citizens. The first exoplanet discovered around a sun-like star, 51 Pegasi b, shattered our assumptions about how planetary systems form and opened our minds to possibilities we had never imagined. Since then, we've discovered planets made of diamond, worlds where it rains glass sideways, planets with multiple suns and Earth-sized worlds in the habitable zones of their stars where liquid water could exist. Each discovery doesn't just add to our catalogue of cosmic real estate, it expands our understanding of what's possible, what's probable, and what's precious about the particular arrangement of matter and energy we call Earth. But here's what makes this cosmic census so profound. Every new world we discover makes Earth simultaneously more ordinary and more extraordinary. More ordinary because we now know that planets are common, that the basic ingredients for world building exist throughout the galaxy. More extraordinary because, despite all our searching, we haven't yet found another pale blue dot teeming with life, another world where evolution has produced beings capable of contemplating their own existence and questioning their place in the cosmic story. This is the beautiful paradox that Sagan would have loved. The more we learn about the universe, the more we appreciate both our cosmic commonality and our planetary uniqueness. We are made of the most common elements in the universe, arranged in ways that appear to be vanishingly rare. We live on a world that follows the same physical laws as every other world, yet has produced something we've never seen anywhere else. A biosphere so complex and interconnected that it has given rise to consciousness, creativity, and the capacity for cosmic wonder. Every sunrise you witness is the result of our planet's rotation, a 24-hour cycle that has been constant for millions of years, providing the stable rhythm that allowed life to evolve and flourish. Every season you experience comes from the tilt of our world's axis, an accident of cosmic collisions that gave us climate diversity and weather patterns that shaped the evolution of intelligence itself. Every breath you take depends on an atmosphere that is precisely the right thickness, composition, and pressure to support complex life, an atmospheric blanket that exists because of a delicate balance between planetary mass, distance from the sun, and billions of years of biological processes. The shocking truth that Sagan spent his life revealing is not that we are insignificant specks in an indifferent universe, but that we are significant participants in a universe that has somehow, through 4 billion years of evolution, produced beings capable of understanding significance itself. We are the cosmos becoming self-aware, and with that awareness comes both incredible privilege and profound responsibility. We are the first species on Earth to understand our cosmic context, to see our world from space, to grasp our connections to the stars, and to recognize that what we do with this knowledge will determine not just our own future, but the future of life itself on this planet. If you felt something stirring as we've explored these cosmic truths together, if you've experienced that familiar sense of wonder that Carl Sagan awakened in millions of people around the world, then you found your way to exactly the right place at exactly the right time. This isn't just another science channel. This is a gathering place for cosmic citizens, for people who understand that science isn't separate from spirituality, but is actually humanity's deepest spiritual practice. When you subscribe to this channel, you're not just signing up for notifications, you're joining a community of people who believe that understanding our place in the universe isn't just intellectually interesting, it's essential for living a meaningful life in the modern world. Hit that subscribe button not because I asked you to, but because you recognize that cosmic perspective is something worth cultivating, worth sharing, worth making part of your daily practice of being human in an extraordinary universe. And tell me in the comments, what's one moment when you felt truly connected to the cosmos? Was it looking up at stars, learning about deep time, or simply pausing to consider the incredible journey that brought you to this very moment of consciousness and curiosity? The most dangerous myth of our time isn't about religion or politics. It's the myth that scientific understanding somehow diminishes wonder, that knowledge is the enemy of mystery, that learning how things work destroys the magic of existence. Carl Sagan spent decades fighting this misconception, not through argument or debate, but through demonstration. He showed us that reality, when truly understood, is far more magical than any fantasy we could imagine, far more mysterious than any puzzle we could invent, far more wonderful than any story we could tell ourselves about our place in the cosmos. Consider the miracle that is happening in your body right now as you process these words. Your brain contains approximately 86 billion neurons, each one connected to thousands of others in a network of staggering complexity. The electrical patterns flowing through this network are somehow creating consciousness, self-awareness, the ability to contemplate infinity and feel moved by beauty. Science hasn't destroyed the mystery of consciousness. It has revealed that consciousness is far more mysterious than we ever imagined, emerging from the most complex structure we know of in the universe, a structure that exists inside your skull and mine. But the magic goes deeper still. The glucose powering your brain right now was once carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, captured by plants through photosynthesis and transformed into sugar through one of the most elegant chemical processes in nature. The oxygen supporting your thoughts was once water, split apart by sunlight in the chloroplasts of leaves, releasing the very gas that makes complex life possible. You are not just thinking about the universe. You are the universe thinking about itself using energy that originally came from nuclear fusion in the sun, processed through biological systems that took billions of years to evolve. This is what Sagan called the cosmic perspective in everyday life. You don't need a telescope to experience cosmic wonder. You need only pause long enough to consider the extraordinary nature of ordinary existence. The water you drink has been cycling through the Earth system for billions of years, once part of ancient oceans, once locked in glacial ice, once flowing through the bodies of creatures that lived millions of years before humans existed. Every drop connects you to the entire history of our planet's hydrosphere, making you part of a story that began when the first comets and asteroids delivered water to our young world. Yet we live in an age where this cosmic perspective is under assault, not by ignorance. Ignorance can be educated, but by willful rejection of the methods that revealed these wonders in the first place. We have created a civilization utterly dependent on scientific understanding, while simultaneously fostering distrust of scientific thinking. Our GPS systems work because Einstein's theories of relativity are programmed into the satellites. Our computers function because we understand quantum mechanics well enough to manipulate electrons in silicon crystals. Our medicines save lives because we've learned to work with biological systems at the molecular level. Yet somehow, we've convinced ourselves that the process that gave us these capabilities, the scientific method, is optional, debatable, a matter of opinion rather than humanity's most reliable tool for understanding reality. This disconnect isn't just intellectually troubling, it's existentially dangerous. Climate change, biodiversity loss, pandemic response, nuclear weapons, artificial intelligence, every major challenge facing our species requires scientific thinking, not wishful thinking. These challenges demand that we understand natural systems, assess evidence objectively, and make decisions based on what reality is telling us rather than what we wish were true. They require the kind of cosmic perspective that Carl Sagan championed, the humility to accept that we are part of natural systems far larger and more complex than ourselves, coupled with the confidence that human intelligence, properly applied, can help us navigate even the most daunting challenges. But here's where Sagan's vision becomes truly revolutionary. He didn't just advocate for scientific literacy as a practical necessity. He presented it as a spiritual practice, a way of connecting with the deepest truths about existence. When you look at the night sky and understand that you're seeing light that has traveled across vast distances and enormous spans of time, you're not just gaining astronomical knowledge, you're participating in a cosmic communion. When you learn about evolution and grasp that you share common ancestry with every living thing on Earth, you're not just understanding biology, you're recognizing your kinship with all life. This perspective transforms everything. The air you breathe becomes sacred because you understand its rarity in the cosmos. The soil beneath your feet becomes precious because you know it's the product of billions of years of geological and biological processes. The diversity of life around you becomes awe-inspiring because you comprehend the incredible journey from simple molecules to complex ecosystems. The other humans you encounter become miraculous because you recognize that consciousness itself is the universe's greatest achievement, and every person you meet is a unique expression of that cosmic awakening. Sagan often spoke of science as a candle in the darkness, a source of illumination in an age of confusion and fear. But I think his true gift was showing us that this candle doesn't dispel mystery. It reveals deeper mysteries. It doesn't eliminate wonder. It provides wonder with a solid foundation. It doesn't make us smaller. It shows us that we're part of something magnificently large. The scientific worldview, properly understood, doesn't diminish human significance. It places human consciousness in its proper cosmic context as perhaps the most significant development in the history of our galaxy. As we reach the end of our cosmic journey together, we arrive at perhaps the most profound realization of all. We are living at the most extraordinary moment in the universe's 13.8 billion-year history. For the first time since the Big Bang, matter has organized itself into forms complex enough to understand the Big Bang. For the first time since stars began forming, stellar material has arranged itself into beings capable of studying stellar formation. For the first time since galaxies began their cosmic dance, the universe has produced observers capable of mapping that dance and understanding their place within it. You are not just living in the universe, you are the universe coming alive to itself. This awakening carries with it both tremendous privilege and equally tremendous responsibility. We are the first generation of humans to see our entire planet from space, to understand our cosmic address, to grasp the delicate nature of the biosphere that gave us birth. We are also the first generation with the power to fundamentally alter our planet's climate, to cause mass extinctions, to reach other worlds and to search for life beyond Earth. The choices we make in the next few decades will determine whether cosmic evolution continues to unfold through human consciousness or whether this extraordinary experiment in self-awareness becomes a cosmic footnote. Carl Sagan understood that this moment demands a new kind of maturity from our species, what he called planetary thinking. We must learn to see ourselves not as citizens of nations first, but as citizens of Earth first, members of a cosmic community that extends beyond our species to encompass all life, beyond our planet to embrace our solar system, beyond our sun to include our galactic neighborhood. This isn't abstract philosophy. It's practical wisdom for survival in the space age. The same rockets that can deliver nuclear weapons can carry scientific instruments to other worlds. The same technologies that threaten our environment can help us understand and protect it. The same global communication networks that spread misinformation can also spread scientific knowledge and cosmic perspective. The path forward requires what Sagan called compassionate skepticism, the ability to question assumptions while maintaining hope, to demand evidence while remaining open to wonder, to think critically while feeling deeply connected to the cosmic story of which we are part. This is not the cold skepticism that denies everything, nor the naive optimism that accepts everything, but the mature wisdom that distinguishes between what we know, what we don't know, and what we're still learning. It's the kind of thinking that built the scientific revolution, sent humans to the moon, eradicated diseases, and continues to expand our understanding of reality every single day. But perhaps most importantly, this cosmic perspective offers us something that no other worldview can provide: a genuine basis for hope. Yes, we face enormous challenges as a species. Yes, we have made mistakes that threaten our future. Yes, the universe is vast and often indifferent to our struggles, but we are also the products of a 4-billion-year evolutionary journey that has overcome seemingly impossible obstacles before. We are the descendants of organisms that survived mass extinctions, ice ages, volcanic catastrophes, and countless other challenges. We carry within our DNA the wisdom of deep time, the resilience of life itself, the creative power of cosmic evolution. More than that, we are the first species on Earth to understand these connections, to see the big picture, to grasp both our vulnerabilities and our capabilities. We know enough about climate systems to understand how human activities are changing them, and we know enough about renewable energy to power our civilizations sustainably. We understand enough about ecosystems to recognize the value of biodiversity, and we have developed technologies that can help us live more lightly on our planet. We have learned enough about psychology and sociology to understand how cooperation emerges, and we have communication tools that can help us coordinate responses to global challenges. The shocking truth about humanity's place in the universe is not that we are insignificant, but that we are uniquely significant, not because we are separate from nature, but because we are nature becoming conscious of itself and taking responsibility for its own future. We are the universe's way of caring for itself, of understanding its own processes, of choosing what kind of future it wants to become. This is not arrogance. This is the deepest humility coupled with the greatest responsibility any species has ever shouldered. Every decision you make from this cosmic perspective matters because you are not just making personal choices. You are participating in cosmic evolution itself. When you choose wonder over cynicism, evidence over wishful thinking, cooperation over competition, sustainability over short-term gain, you are helping the universe become more conscious, more compassionate, more capable of continued evolution toward greater complexity and beauty. You are fulfilling the promise that Carl Sagan saw in humanity, the potential to become worthy of our cosmic inheritance. If this journey has touched something deep within you, if you feel called to live from this cosmic perspective and share it with others, then you found your tribe here in this community of cosmic citizens. Subscribing to this channel is really subscribing to a vision of humanity's future, one where scientific understanding and spiritual wonder work together, where cosmic perspective guides our daily choices, where we remember that we are all made of star stuff and act accordingly. I hope you'll stay with us as we continue exploring these profound connections between science, consciousness, and meaning. Share in the comments what cosmic perspective means to you, what questions about our place in the universe keep you awake at night, what topics you'd love us to explore in future videos. Together we can help more people discover the shocking truth that Carl Sagan spent his life revealing. We are not lonely wanderers in an indifferent cosmos, but cosmic citizens awakening to our true nature as the universe coming to know and love itself.